Well, you're right on time for breaking today. Good evening from where you're watching us from. My name is Joel Church and our sign language interpreter is Tracy Dorcas. We have a lot in line for you and these are our top stories. Deputy President William Ruto takes his charm offensive to Isiolo County as ODM party leader Raila Odinga pitches camp in Naivasha. We bring you the story of Francis Kamanga, an innovator from Rironi, Kiambu County, who has invented a gadget dubbed the digital thief catcher to improve security at homes. And in a special feature tonight, our reporter Emmanuel Tere returns from Turkana County, where drought situation is getting dire by day. Well, talk to us via social media platforms at Switch TV Kenya, Joel Chacha M on Twitter, as well on Facebook, Switch TV Kenya, and Joel Chacha. Send in an SMS via 111 444 We start off with matters politics. Deputy President William Ruto has taken his charm offensive to Isiolo County a day after taking Laikipia County by storm as he propagates for his agenda ahead of the 2022 polls. Ruto has slammed the Mount Kenya moguls, claiming that they are engaging in boardroom interviews with presidential candidates. Our very own Flora Limuki opens us this bulletin.
As the scramble for support in the 2022 general elections hits the fan, Deputy President William Ruto and his allied MPs have hit out at Mount Kenya Foundation business moguls who have been meeting with presidential hopefuls, saying that Kenyans should not be told who to vote for by a group of billionaires.
Kuna majamaa wengine wako kwa mahoteli kule Nairobi. Ati nyinyi mumetuma hawa waende wafanyie interview watu ambao wanataka kuwa rais.
Speaking in Isiolo County today as he toured the region, Ruto says that the only way to revolutionize and revive the economy of the country is by embracing the bottom-up economic model.
Wenye biashara ndogo vile tutawasaidia wasiangaishwe na mashailok, wasiwekwe kwa CRB na Fuliza, waweze kufanya biashara ndio tuweze kuinua Kenya yote pamoja.
At the same time, Ruto has urged Kenyans to vote for leaders with a clear development record for presidency in 2022 as his allies continue to propagate for hustler narrative.
Tuwe na taifa ambalo linajenga usawa, ambayo hatuwachi watu wengine nyuma.
Ruto has visited Isiolo County for the 9th time since his election in 2017. As the battle for the 2022 general elections takes shape in the country, with politics of economic models taking the center stage, now Deputy President William Ruto has urged Kenyans to vote for leaders who will help the country grow economically and not leaders with specific interest of a specific people. Flora Limuki, Switch TV, Nairobi.
Thank you, Limuki. Meanwhile, ODM party leader Raila Odinga, while flexing his political muscle in the Rift Valley region, has continued to front his Azimio la Umoja ideology with emphasis on the economic development of the country. In a rejoinder, the Premier has dismissed claims that the Mount Kenya region is Deputy President William Ruto's stronghold. Shilangetich reports.
Less than 10 months to the general elections and the battleground is all set, with ODM party leader Raila Odinga casting his political nets to Subukia in Naivasha, where he has promised to continue with the BBI propositions.
Nilikuwa mnaenda kupata shilingi bilioni 10 zaidi ambayo mngepata, lakini hiyo iko kando sasa. Lakini tutarudisha tukishika tamu ya utawala. Sawa.
In a bid to woo more support from Kenyans to his presidential bid, Raila Odinga has spoken on the economic plans he has in store once he clinches the top seat.
Familia ambaye hawana kazi, hawana mapato, watapata kila mwezi shilingi 6,000.
Junet Mohammed, who was among the leaders who accompanied the ODM leader, saying the handshake between Raila Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta is all they need for votes from the Mount Kenya bloc.
Sasa wanataramuka chini kama burukenge. Siwana wanataramuka chini. Sasa sahi baba ndio panda mlima na paswa Mulima sio Sigoi. Password ya Mulima ni handshake.
Even as they revive the reggaeton, the scramble for votes for the top seat continues as presidential hopefuls try to secure votes from the slopes of Kenya's tallest mountain. Shilangetich, Switch TV.
Still a focus on matters politics, and National Assembly Speaker Justin Muturi has broken his silence on the rising cost of fuel and electricity costs, challenging members of parliament not to politic church functions, but instead use the flow of parliament to lower the prices. Speaker Muturi has also bashed Deputy President William Ruto's hustlers approach. In his 2022 presidential bid, he told of leaders who use the church to seek votes and challenge the clerics not to be used, and to correct such leaders who are being seen as darlings of the churches.
I am not anybody's project. Wale wengine pia wameomba, wamesema watasimama. Kunaye mzee Raila, kunaye yule kijana Ruto, kuna wengine wanaitwa jina lingine, sijui Okoa ama Oka. Hata hao nimesikia pia wanataka. That is healthy. It's healthy in this game. And what I believe in is fairness. Let everybody get a chance to come and explain themselves out, explain what it is that they would want to do.
Elsewhere, the United Green Movement Party has asked the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IEBC) to work with what it has instead of lamenting about the budget challenges it's facing. The party has further expressed its concerns over the Commission's preparedness and urged the fast tracking of civic education regarding the ongoing voter registration. UGM and a former Ndhiwa Member of Parliament Agostino Neto, while meeting aspirants of Bungoma County, has further taken issue with politicians fueling drums of war before the 2022 raised campaigns officially kicks off.
We have 10 months to the election. We'd like to see a program in place of the IEBC putting in civic education in place. Number two, we'd like to see IEBC move together as a team in a manner that ensures that we're going to have a free and fair election. We do not want camps, we do not want factions in the IEBC team. We want them to deliver a free and a credible election. The third thing, we'd like to request IEBC to work within their budget. We know they're always asking for budgets. No money is ever enough to conduct an election. We'd like to request IEBC to use the money that they have right now to conduct a free and a fair election.
Away from matters politics, in a fast-growing world and country where the rate of unemployment, especially among the youth, is speedily rising, invention and innovation is slowly picking up to beat poverty. One of such innovators is Francis Kamanga, who has invented a gadget dubbed Digital Thief Catcher to improve security at homes. Robert Uma visited him in Rironi, Kiambu County, and files the following story.
It is no brainer that the world is indeed a small existing village, thanks to the technological advancements, especially in the 21st century. If you walk through the streets of Nairobi and other major cities in the country, for instance, this is not a new scenery. Job hunting is the order of the day. And lack of practical skills to survive the hard times has turned many to drug and substance abuse. It is on the same breath of unemployment that one Francis Kamanga, an innovator from Rironi County, has invented a gadget dubbed Digital Thief Catcher to improve security at homes.
I'm an innovator of Skynet alarm, which I innovated when my chickens were stolen, and you can see it here.
His chicken was stolen, and he decided that he had to put a net to that.
Basically, secure hii nyumba sana sana na theft. Tuseme ukiweza pita hapo ama ukiweza jaribu kuipitia itaniamsha nikiwa nimelala.
And then
let's see what is about. When we are not around, it's the time we are going to activate this system to be used.
Now, these are two security prototypes. From the right, this rings alarm by motion, but this one just by touch, and you're caught. Inside his small house is where all the magic happens. A wired house, you may call it that, from his bedroom to the living room. The gadget does not only set the alarm, Francis says there's more than meets the eye. Let's see.
Mtu anaweza pigiwa na hiyo system ukiwa uko karibu, hata akiwa uko Nairobi bado itakupigia. Acha nijaribu.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Okay.
He says that the gadget has helped him secure his community and safeguard their homes.
Well, the neighbors are very appreciative, and I would say that they are very supportive of the innovation.
I believe if developed properly, inaweza kuwa a very strong medium ya kugrow biashara na pia pande ya security pia. I think when you think about it security wise, it is very okay.
And whenever one succeeds, it's the success of everyone.
With a final play.
Inaweza ambia the other innovators kwamba engineering ama innovation is a journey. So lazima ukue patient na kinye unafanya na siku moja utaweza kufanikiwa.
Now, this is one of the many innovations that continue to rot in the streets and the minds of many innovators in the country. But imagine what would happen if the concerned authorities would tap into such innovations. Yes, you're right. Your guess is so right. This could be a turning point to innovators like Francis and definitely the whole country. Robert Ouma, Switch TV, Rironi in Kiambu County.
Thank you, Robert Ouma, for highlighting his story. And for Francis, kudos, does a good job. And of course, if you are also an inventor or rather an innovator, you remember you can just text us on 111 444 111 or across our social media platforms and send us your lead. And of course, we'll send our crew there to cover you. But for now, we are at 11 minutes past 7 p.m. We take a short commercial break. We'll be back with a special feature tonight on the drought situation in Turkana County. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Breaking Today. My name is Joel Church and our sign language interpreter is Tracy Dorcas. Moving on, the drought situation in Turkana County is getting dire by day. Many families have been left with no food to feed their malnourished children. The wrath of the Mother Nature is not only affecting human beings but also their dying livestock. To curb the situation, the Kenya Red Cross Society and the USAID have launched a cash transfer project worth 200 million in the counties of Turkana, Baringo and West Pokot that will address emergency food and nutrition targeting 11,000 households. Emmanuel Terer is just from Turkana and has compiled the following report.
Early in the morning, we began our journey to Turkana County. Our destination is Lodwar Town. The situation on ground is dire, extremely hot, extremely dry. Food accessibility is tough. The animals have died. For a community that mostly depends on livestock keeping as a way of living, drought means double tragedy. One, to them, and secondly, to their livestock.
Mifugo wote wameteseka sana, waliobaki nao wameshindwa kutembea.
The situation here is dire. There is lack of water, there is lack of food, there is lack of pasture, and also we are seeing children exhibiting signs of malnutrition. We are seeing animals degrading.
Red Cross with United States Agency for International Development, USAID, have made an intervention to curb the situation through a cash transfer project worth 200 million Kenyan shillings, targeting 11,082 households with an approximation of 66,492 persons in Turkana, West Pokot and Baringo counties.
Why we are doing this cash transfer program is because, as you are all aware, Turkana is one of the most affected counties by the drought, and therefore together in partnership we have decided to come together to support these families and cushion them from the adverse effects of the drought.
This is particularly important during times of need like the current drought, which has left approximately 2.1 million Kenyans in need of emergency food assistance. USAID recognizes President Kenyatta's decision to declare the current drought a national disaster.
A joyous and blissful atmosphere is filled with hope of its own kind. Women dance their hearts out, dressed in cultural Turkana regalia, as they become part of the newly launched cash transfer program. The Deputy Secretary General of Kenya Red Cross, Annette Msabani, is trying to keep up with the rhythm.
Pesa ni muhimu zaidi kuliko vyakula, maana zinasaidia kwa njia nyingi. Iwapo mtoto ataugua, nitakuwa na uwezo wa kumpeleka hospitalini. Nimekuwa nikitegemea sana mifugo wangu, ila wavamizi wameiba mifugo wote na nimebaki bila. Kiangazi nacho kinatutesa mno.
In Turkana, there are 5,323 households containing 31,940 people. Baringo, there are 3,036 households with 18,217 persons. And West Pokot, there are 2,723 households containing 16,335 people.
In particular, today in Turkana, we will be reaching 31,940 persons, who translates to about 5,323 households. Under this program, each household will receive about 5,667 Kenya shillings per month for a total of 3 months. And this 5,067 shillings amounts to about 50% of the minimum food basket.
42 kilometers from Lodwar Town lies the village called Kapua on the shores of Lake Turkana, which is home to the minority Ilimanyang community, who are famous for living close to water bodies and are believed to have no skin pores. This goat is trying to search for any green matter, but sadly there is none. In sight is only dry soil. Men here sit in groups with hopes of a better tomorrow. I happen to have joined them and I'm lucky to be shown a unique knife. A knife that has not been put to use ever since the drought set in. With distress visible on their faces, these women sit here in groups under the scorching sun. Unless someone comes to their aid, they have no idea of what will be served to their children as the next meal. Red Cross is setting foot here. Their target is to distribute food stuff to over 200 people who are worst hit by drought.
In this location of Kapua, we are reaching about slightly over 3,000 people. The total population here that is in need is about 17,000. With the support that we are providing maize, we are providing beans, we are providing oil and rice and salt. This is a small ration just to hold the family, and this will go for about 2 weeks.
Even as this man's face is filled with laughter, his heart might be beating with fear because of the food security situation in Kenya's arid and semi-arid ASAL counties, which has continued to worsen due to the poor performance of October, November, December 2020 short rains and the March, April, May 2021 long rains. Emmanuel Terrer, Switch TV.
Many thanks for staying with us. It's a good day for sports. Now, to start us off on a good note, Ruth Chepngetich clocked 2 hours, 22 minutes and 31 seconds to win the Chicago Marathon. Chepngetich, who is also the world marathon champion, beat Emma Bates, who finished second in 2 hours, 24 minutes and 20 seconds, while Sarah Hall finished third in 2 hours, 27 minutes and 19 seconds. In the men's race, Ethiopia's Seifu Tura won in 2 hours, 6 minutes, 12 seconds, as American Garlet Rupa settled second in 2 hours, 6 minutes, 35 seconds. Kenya's Eric Kiptanui was dabbing in Chicago Marathon, sealed the podium in 2 hours, 6 minutes and 51 minutes. And still on matters local football, Harambee Stars will not be at the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar after losing 1-0 at home to Mali in their fourth match of Group E at the Nyayo National Stadium today. Stars portrayed a better performance from the 5-0 drubbing suffered in Agadir on Thursday, but Ibrahima Kone once again hunted the Stars, scoring the winning goal in the 55th minute of the game. Kone, who struck a hat-trick in the first leg in Adagira, ensured that Mali kept their World Cup dream alive. Kenya and Rwanda, meanwhile, have their ambitions come to a screeching halt and will play the last two matches for pride. Rwanda lost their match against Uganda 2-0 in Kampala to remain bottom of the pool with a single point. Now over to matters golf, where Muthaiga Golf Club Craig Snow, who came in second for his first title in the Safari Tour fourth season, produced a bogey-free 5 under par 66 to open a 3-shots lead as the third leg of the tour got underway at the beautiful par 71 Great Rift Golf Resort course today. Snow birdied 3 of the 4 par 3s, starting with the 185-yard 8-hole, starting the back 9 with the birdie and a par 4 10th and the 2 short holes at the back 9 12th and 15th, in addition to a closer one at the par 5 14th for his superb 66.
Yeah, I thought the golf course was going to play a bit easier than compared to last week. Obviously it was a bit longer last week, but in terms of that I felt like there's hardly any wind out there today, so it made a big difference with scoring. But in terms of that, yeah, there's a lot of birdies out there to be made.
This time I'm feeling more relaxed than even the other time that I won, the time that I won, because I was even leading by far, but because of pressure that time I missed some good scores. But this time I'm feeling more relaxed. I'm hoping this round will be much better.
Now, Ben Chilwell and Jack Grealish got their first goals for England as Gareth Southgate's side cruised to a 5-0 win over Andorra in their World Cup qualifier at the Estadio Nacional. Chilwell, Bukayo Saka, Tammy Abrahams, James Ward-Prowse and Grealish were all on target as England kept a clean sheet to remain top of Group I. Chelsea's Chilwell was forced into a long wait for his goal to be confirmed, but VAR ruled Jadon Sancho has been onside in the build-up to England's 17th minute opener. And still on Euro matters football in Europe, Italy withstood a late Belgium fight back to return to winning ways and claim third in their Nations League. Nicolo Barella opened the scoring with a crispy volley a minute after the interval in Turin before Domenico Berardi scored from the penalty spot. Belgium hit the woodwork 3 times before pulling one back through Charles Di Caterelle. Late on, they pressed for an equalizer, but Italy, whose 37-game unbeaten run was ended by Spain on Wednesday, held on after a dull first half of the bronze medal match. Barella sparked the game into life with a stunning first-time strike into the bottom corner from a corner.
And he squeezes it through Courtois to give Italy a... De Ketelaere wants it played there, and De Bruyne obliges De Ketelaere, and he's pulled one back.
Now, Cristiano Ronaldo scored his 112th international goal, extending the men's record he broke last month as Portugal eased to a 3-0 friendly win against 2022 World Cup host Qatar. Having gone closer earlier, Ronaldo opened the scoring 8 minutes before halftime with a close-range finish after a cross from Manchester United teammate Diogo Dalot deflected off a Qatar defender. Let's shift our gears to Formula One, where Valtteri Bottas won the Turkish Grand Prix as second place for Max Verstappen returned the Red Bull driver to the championship lead. Lewis Hamilton was fifth, disagreeing with his team over the radio over their decision to make a late pit stop for tires that dropped him down from third. Verstappen leads Hamilton by 6 points with 6 races remaining this season in an intense race on a superbly track. Red Bull's Sergio Perez took third ahead of Ferrari's Charles Leclerc.
So at turn 1 would be ahead of Hamilton. Bottas crosses the line to win the Turkish Grand Prix. It has been a commanding performance, and that will give him a huge over Lewis Hamilton. It's a double podium for Red Bull. Sergio Perez with some great defending against Lewis Hamilton and making the right stop at the right time, comes home to take third place.
Tyson Fury delivered a thrilling 11th round knockout of Deontay Wilder to retain his WBC heavyweight crown as their trilogy bout produced another classic on an electric night at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. 20 months since Fury dethroned the American, the 33-year-old had to show all his resolve and resilience to extend his undefeated professional record to 32 fights. After twice being floored in the 4th round, Fury sent his opponents prowling in an explosive third, only to see Wilder recover, and the Briton found himself on the end of the Browns' bomber's huge right, and twice in quick succession. Wilder was hanging on the end of the 7th but was still in a grueling fight come the 10th when Fury knocked him down once more.
Yeah, it was a great fight. Credit to me and Wilder. We put it all on the line tonight for the fans. And it was a great fight, you know. It's never over until it's over, as Wilder proved and as I proved. Great fight for the fans. I've not seen it, but I was involved in it, and I expect it was a hell of a fight.
Now, we wouldn't close it without our moment of the day, where tonight we focus on Cristiano Ronaldo's phenomenal record for netting most international goals. Remember, he stands at 112 goals.
The perfect stage for a player in his prime. And what a picture-perfect fit.
Nani. Ronaldo's made his move. It's Ronaldo! Hennessy thought about coming and didn't.
Now that's your sports update. I'm Oronje Kusimbe. Back to you, Joel.
Well, that's all here on Breaking Today. My name is Joel Church and our sign language interpreter is Tracy Dorcas. Our producer has been Safi Godana Mamo and director Miriam Elias Mama Shani. Until next time, do have a safe and good night.